Morning guys, today we got this 2008 Suzuki King Quad 750 on the lift. Set of tracks on it. We're going to give it a complete service. We're going to make sure we check all the suspension, as these track kits do cause a lot of stress on bearings, bushings, tie rods, that sort of stuff. Make sure all the bolts are tight. Check the air filters, do all the oils, and we'll try to show you a step-by-step process on how to do that. Air filters right here underneath this cover. I'll take these two little plastic clips out, and then you have a wing nut to pull your air filter out. He's got a K&N air filter, it's pretty dirty. At least we can wash it. This guy's battery cables are loose, so we're gonna take this cover off that holds the battery down, tighten them up. Now before I do an oil change, I like to go through and check all my suspension, make sure everything's tight. If there's any bolts missing, that sort of stuff, and grease it up, so that if I gotta order any parts, get that ordered first. This front end seems okay. Now we're gonna drain the oil on the front differential. To do so, you gotta pull the skid plate off, and there's 4 10mm bolts, very easy to get out. Pull your front diff plug, you need a 21mm socket. And the color of your differential oil and the magnet on your plug will tell you a lot about your front diff. This one looks pretty clean. And there's no chunks on the magnet. So I would say that's just normal wear. Same thing as the front end, you want to get the back end up in the air. Check all your CV boots, make sure none of them are ripped. You want to make sure all your bolts are tight once again, especially with this track kit, it's hard on stuff. Make sure all your bushings are tight. And then we'll take the jack out, drain the oil out of the rear diff with the 21mm socket. The rear diff draining, the front draining. Suspension's all good. We're going to pull the drain plug out of the engine, which is a 17mm. It's about 2.5 liters. And we're going to pull this cover off right here by the recoil. Your fill plug for your oil dipstick. Oil filter's a little tricky to get at. You definitely don't want the exhaust too hot. It's behind this left front wheel cover. I don't know if you can see it from the video, but this is the oil filter right here. Spark plug is on top of the motor, angled to the right. A little tricky to see probably, a little tricky to get at as well. You want to give the cap a twist and a pull. That should come right out. Then you want to get a 5/8 socket and about a 3-inch extension. Loosen the spark plug and fish it out with a magnet. But before you do anything, because the spark plug is in such a deep hole, you want to blow a little air in there to make sure you're not going to drop any dirt inside your engine. Now that all the oil is drained, I'm going to put the oil filter back on, put my drain plugs back on, put my spark plug back in, with a little bit of copper coat on the threads of the spark plug. I'm going to oil my K&N air filter, put it back in, and then when I'm ready to throw my oil back in, I'll show you how to do that. So here's where we fill oil on the front differential. Top hole is for filling. Pull that plug out, lay it here on the tracks. There's a bottom hole, 10mm head on it. Pull that out. I like to use this 75 140 AMSLO severe gear. And if you put a nozzle on there like this, you fill it up through this top hole until the oil comes out the bottom, and then you know you're full. This right here is where you fill the engine oil. It's about 2.3 liters. I like to use AMSOIL 1060 dirt in the winter. Now we're going to put the skid plates back on. Unfortunately, this skid plate has a bunch of damage, so we have to use a few zip ties, but we'll get her back on there. So the rear differential on this 2008 Suzuki King Quad 750, this is your fill hole right here. There is no level hole. You fill it to the bottom of the threads. Now, there's only about 2 or 3 machines in the world that require this. You need special oil for the rear differential because the brakes are wet in the diff. Once you got all your oils back in there, you want to just start it up for a few minutes. Then you want to go down and check your oil, top it off if you need to. Well, thanks for watching another one of my videos. If you got any comments, please mention it in the box below. Please like and subscribe to our channel. And we're going to go for a ride, have a little fun on this one and send it home.